Hi guys, welcome back. It's another Roasty Toasty. We're now on episode number 4, probably, maybe, who the heck knows. This is a feature that we do that people submit their pictures because they might not be 110% sane, and they essentially throw their pictures into a pot via the submission form that's linked down below, sign a waiver via checkboxes to essentially let us roast them or toast them as harsh as possible. So there are calls for me to be getting even harsher on the Roasty Toasties. I find it really hard. So this is not made to be educational in theory, although it usually is, and it's more for entertainment purposes, and therefore don't come at us in the comments because I'm mean, because that's the whole point, and actually people have said I'm not mean enough. So the way it works is that we have a benchmark of, would we put this on a fridge magnet? If the answer is yes, then it gets a toast with a non-alcoholic beverage because it's mid-morning on a work day, and therefore we use cups of Yorkshire tea, although we might go up to alcohol because that makes it more fun, doesn't it? We could do shots, and then there's pain for toasts.
Please drink responsibly.
Yeah, don't obviously be an alcoholic. We're from England, so everybody drinks a lot. That's just like a fact. Sadly, that's the truth. If the picture wouldn't even go on a fridge magnet, then it will get a roast.
We need to buy it properly.
Yes! So if it wouldn't even go on a fridge magnet, then it gets a roast. We roast it and we pick it apart and try and make it mean, but usually I can't do that. So it is what it is. And if it's amazing, then it would go on my wall. It gets a double toast, and then we chink cups. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of it. So I can see one image at a time on my screen, randomly selected. I've not seen any of them before, and Dan selects them on his screen, which is over in this direction somewhere. So Dan's in control of this, although he usually will lose his mouse, and we'll see how things get on. So Daniel, please can you throw up the first picture? Hang on. Ready? What the Oh, can we get it off the screen? I'm scarred for life. No, it's an image. It deserves an accurate and honest critique that's not a proper critique. I actually think it's a really good picture of what they were trying to photograph. Do you know what I mean? Like, it actually is. Focus is in the right place. It's composed well. It actually has some frames going through it with what one could argue being some form of a leading line. Background's not great. It could go on a fridge magnet as a joke. Can you imagine if we gave your mum this? What would she say if you gave her that as a present? It's her birthday.
I genuinely don't know. I think she'd laugh and be like, the fuck's this?
I actually think props to the photographer because I think they've done a good job of photographing the photo. It's actually fairly toasty.
Yeah, I'd
Isn't
agree.
it? It's actually fairly toasty. It's not my vibe, you know. I wouldn't want to put it on my wall. I'm not going to want to be looking at it all the time. I'm ambivalent. I'm in the middle, but I think they've done a good job. Colour's quite good. Highlights are well controlled. In terms of accurately kind of assessing the image that's in front of me right now, then the photographer's actually done quite a good job. So should I be too... Is that too nice? I don't know. I was not expecting that. Let's move on, Daniel. Hang on. Okay. It's a great shot. It's a toast.
You're doing double toast. You're going with the chain.
Can it be a gentle one?
Can I hold back?
Why?
Just because the subject's looking to the left, yet the majority of the space is to the right.
Your composition's not great, but that's why we're doing a really tiny one, because actually... Hang on, we need to move it close to the microphone so people can hear it. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly well shot. There are some issues appearing around edges and stuff. There's some editing bits and pieces down at the bottom that look like more like editing things rather than background things. But then again, they could be background things, so benefit of the doubt. Depth of field is okay. Actually, the depth of field is wrong. The depth of field's wrong, isn't it?
Well, to me, the end of the stick would be further away than what the tail is from in terms of focal plane.
This is wrong. Can we rewind? It's wrong. It was a good attempt.
Yeah.
But when I've actually looked at it with my eyeballs, it doesn't make any sense. The math ain't mathing. Again, on a focal plane basis, and I'll tell you why. The eye is tack sharp. Well done from the photographer from the eye. The bird itself is shot well. However, the eye is sharp, and then the focal plane will move backwards into nothingness. And you can see that because the back of the bird's back is out of focus, but then the stick is in focus. So that is a total math ain't mathing situation. Focal plane break. This is a full-on roast now. We've gone technical disaster, which is a shame because in essence, the ingredients were put into the pot well. Mm-hmm. It just didn't rise when it was in the oven.
Yeah. Realistically,
composition could be improved, like Dan said, but the main thing is that technical piece. The stick behind should not be sharper than the face, with a blurry patch in the middle.
Well, you can see it with the foot, the back foot. You can just see it coming from the belly.
The back foot is very out of focus, yet the stick's in focus. That was my bad. I didn't give this due care and attention. I'm so sorry. I will hold my hands up. This will destroy my entire career. Because I didn't look. So standards are high. There's also a masking error around the bird's head. It's a shame. The ingredients were good. Math didn't math. What can we say? Moving on, Daniel, please. Moving on. Oh, this is a really good photo. This is actually a really good photo. There's a lot going on. I would have loved dog's head to be more visible, in all fairness. But I'm going to go and give...
In terms of face, do you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So we've got cloning repetition over on the left-hand side, right on the grasses. Can you see it? Do you not think?
I haven't seen it.
Can we zoom in? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's honest. Maybe it is honest. However, it does look like there's some bits and pieces down here, though. You know, doesn't it? In all fairness. It's hard at the resolution. It is hard. Can we move over to this bit of the grasses? Down a bit. That part where it goes very blurry and then comes back is suspicious for me because this is sharper than this. So there's another focal plane situation happening. We're moving along. Horizon is also sloping upwards to the right, slightly.
I think it's hard to tell when you're doing it at this level.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this part's not looking super sexy. Bits and pieces. We're looking at this at granular detail. I still would give it a toast because I think it's a good concept, well attempted. I think it's a great attempt. I really do. I love more of the subject's face. I think it's a good image. I think it's deserving of a toast. I would put it on a fridge magnet in all fairness. I'm looking at it at way too much detail. I think props to the photographer for attempting and executing. So, yeah. Oh, okay.
Pied.
Moving on. Hang on. Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. I think this is a good picture. Would put it on a fridge magnet. Everything looks fairly clean. Reasonably good angle of view. It's a very good sit. It's an extremely neat sit.
Yeah.
Extremely neat sit. And so props to the photographer for that. The grass in the background is extremely distracting. Super bright, could be controlled with some radial adjustments in Lightroom. However, not worthy of a roast. It's a definite fridge magnet toast.
Yeah.
So I'll drink to it. Could be improved. And I think it was fairly well executed. It's just, there's just a lot on it. However, props to the photographer for getting the framing trees in the background. No trees coming out of heads on this one. And the colours on the collar work well with the colours in the trees. The white balance looks to be accurate for this type of dog. There's usually a little bit of magenta coming through the coat around the chest area, which is visible. That's fine. Focus looks like it's in the right place, and everything else looks, and it's just such a neat sit. So for that alone, I'd give it a toast because it's hard. Moving on. Okay, so this is being really badly over sharpened. which is the first thing that I can see. Because I look at that back paw and wince in pain at the hairspray that would have hit it. If you've not watched the video about over-sharpening in the hairspray, if you've not watched that video, then go ahead and have a look at it above. There is also clipping happening in the yellow channel down the backside, like back edge of the dog. So from a technical standpoint, that's where my main issues lie. However, good space around the subject, in all fairness, like there is a space around the subject. And it looks like a happy little dog having a play. It's not going to be one I'll put on a fridge magnet. It's not going to be one I'd put on a wall. Perhaps a little bit more work required. And tone down that sharpening. Do not need it. Do not require all of that sharpening. But well attempted. I need to be meaner. I'm way too soft. Oh my goodness. But I can see potential, and that's like the hard part for me, because even in this one, you know, I can see the potential coming through. The photographer has made notes and made a point of keeping in mind some things, and that's where, like, I will always try and move that forwards instead of tearing it apart. And I know that the point of this is entertainment and I should tear it apart, but you can see how conflicted I am in my head about this. No, I wouldn't put this on a fridge magnet. No, I wouldn't put it on the wall. However, it's not bad. Like, yes, we've got some highlight issues happening here, there, and everywhere. Yes, the background is really, really, really distracting. However, the photographer has made an attempt. They have tried. And for the trying, I think they deserve credit. Yes, the colours on the face are very, very blue. Could be colour toning rather than anything else coming through. So just incorrect use of the editing tools. But there's nothing inherently wrong. Can you give me something wrong? Can we check the focus on the eyes? I don't think we'll be able to zoom in. It looks like we're fairly maxed out. The focus on the eyes, it would sit on the same focal plane as the nose to a certain extent. I'd say it's fairly sharp. Wouldn't have an issue. Middle of the road again. I'm too nice. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Well, you've said it won't go on a fridge magnet, so that's the roasting. Like, the concept of it is great, like, and it's got legs. It's just the execution on this instance.
I think they've tried. It's good. It's fairly good posing. It just needed a different execution, but not far away. Lower angle of view, more space to the left and to the bottom, so the dog's got room to stand. Better highlight control in general, but good concept. And I'm too nice. Moving on down. Last one for today, because I'm having a complex now.
Last one?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, for God's sake. But again, it's a good execution. Like, you guys are so mean. The thing is that, like, I will assess what I can see in front of me, and what I can see in front of me is a photographer taking a picture of these two subjects. Both of them are sharp in the right places in terms of the context of the image. And aside from the fact that we're sloping to the right-hand side, so there is a horizon straightness issue happening, which you can see a little bit from the poles that we've got in the shot. So not all poles are straight, obviously, but when everything's leaning to the right, then we've got an issue coming through there, in theory. So again, it's not a bad shot of what the photographer was shooting. And whether that makes me too nice or not, I don't know. But it's well executed. The color is right. The space around the subject is right. I'd probably take more off of the left, but then you'd cut through the gate. So I can understand the thought processes that have happened in this. And so maybe I wouldn't put it on a fridge magnet myself. However, if you were looking for pictures of dogs peeing on stuff, this would be a really good one.
Yeah. I think both of them, in terms of this one and the very first one I showed, the comedy pictures, they've executed well as comedy pictures.
Exactly. So for the purpose of what it was for, it's not bad. Like, it is not bad. There's not a lot that you would say, aside from a crop on this one, which again would be questionable because you'd cut through the gate, and the straightening of that horizon. There's not a great deal else. The highlights are all well controlled. The blacks even are well controlled in the darkest sections underneath the bucket. Was that an anticlimax? I feel like that was an anticlimax, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I need to go and have a word with myself about my ethics of Roasty Toasty. Do you think I should be harsher or do you think I should be nicer? I don't know. Am I being too nice? This is really messing with my head, isn't it? I need to go and have a think about that. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.